Hi, everyone. I'm Anthony, and welcome to the My Peep Show podcast. I'm here today with an old friend of mine. It took a lot of money to get him here, but finally we got up to $20, and he said, okay, I'll do it. A lot of money to me is $20, Travis. But no, my friend, Travis Humphrey. Travis, how you doing?
Doing good, man. Doing good. How are you?
Awesome. I'm doing great, man. Thank you so much for this opportunity. Dude, I know you are a very busy person, and I'm grateful that, hey, we finally got the opportunity to do this. Let's get it started here, Travis. Tell people what you do as far as, like, what's your talent? What's something that you love to do? What's the hobby?
Well, I'm really good at building Lego houses and stuff.
Okay.
I'm a musician, man. Yeah, that's my stick. That's my gig.
Have you heard there's a name for people that literally they're Lego masters or something like that? And literally, man, that's their title.
I step on them. They hurt a lot, but no.
You're like the Godzilla of Lego world. So
exactly. Yeah.
But no, Travis is a musician, and he's a very good musician, and I'm very thankful that, and hopefully, you know, later on into the interview, we'll get the opportunity to hear some songs from you, Travis.
Sure.
But, you know, Travis and I have known each other, let's see, we met in a factory to name which we will not mention.
Yeah, we won't broadcast and help them at
all. No promotion for them whatsoever. But we met, let's see, Travis, 12 years ago maybe?
Oh, yeah, 12 or 13 at least.
Yeah, 12, 13 years ago. And you know, man, Travis and I were huge cut-ups at work, and always, I think our biggest thing was, I was telling my wife, I was like, we were big into movies and TV, because most people didn't get a lot of the stuff that we would talk about, and of course, we'll get to more on John Rambo later.
No doubt.
But, all right, Travis, so let's go generic here a little bit. Were you, okay, so you live in Sparta now?
I live in Sparta, Tennessee.
Is that where you're from?
That is technically where I'm from. I claim Stevenson, Alabama kind of as my home because we moved there at a young age. But,
okay, so you lived there a lot of your time?
Oh, yeah. About half my life I lived there.
And
we moved back to Sparta in high school.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah.
Okay, cool, man. So you've been here in Sparta ever since. I shouldn't say do you love Sparta, because I don't want to get, you know, I don't want to get your house burned or anything if you say no. But, I mean, what's the good things about Sparta when it's small town and stuff? Is that good for a musician to have that small townness?
To me, I would say yes. I'd say it's definitely positive for me because there's so many things to draw from, so many writing inspirations to draw from. And, of course, everybody knows everybody. There's plenty of stories, plenty of things you can use. And I like a close-knit community. Sometimes it's a pain.
Yeah, oh, yeah. I mean, obviously the negatives to it as well. But I think one thing's good, too, though, is probably for your situation, because I know Cookville's next door. This is obviously where I live. And, you know, there's opportunities to get to know more musicians. And I think the good thing probably, I'd imagine, in small town, like musicians and stuff, is there's like a community of you guys. You guys are like a family in a way. And is it ever, I'll throw this out there, is it ever, let's say somebody new shows up to the whatever gig you're playing at, and is there ever this pee around and mark your territory, like you gotta earn your way to get in here? Or is it like, hey, no, man, you're a musician like us, come on in? What's that like?
It's a two-edged sword. In Nashville, it's definitely the, hey, I'm marking my spot, and you're going to have to work to knock me off.
Right.
Know? That's the way Nashville works. I mean, it's a dog-eat-dog world. The waitresses in Nashville can sing and play better than you, so you have to work at it.
Really?
You know? But now, as far as around here local, Collins River and McMinnville, Tennessee, there's a group of super supportive guys. They want local musicians to be known. That's their thing. They're pushing it. They want to get you out there. So, you know, local stuff is really, really good, and it's very helpful. It's been super helpful to me. I wouldn't be where I'm at without those guys. But definitely Nashville, they're the dog-eat-dog. You're going to have to work at it, you know.
Right. Wow. I couldn't even imagine what that's like, going in knowing that people want you to fail.
Oh, yeah.
You know, where I would think, I guess, Collins River, like you mentioned, is probably more of like, hey, man, that's good stuff. Keep it up, or maybe work on this. Where Nashville, and obviously we're not dogging Nashville either, but because there's obviously a lot of opportunities there. But like you said, man, I mean, everybody is in Nashville for a reason.
Exactly.
You know, they're not there to be movie stars. They're there to be the next big thing. When it comes to Collins River or any places like local and stuff, Now, obviously, do you write a lot of your stuff? Do you write all of it, or do you do covers, or kind of a mixture of both?
I do. I write all of my stuff for the songwriter series. And I do all original stuff when I'm doing the songwriter series. But now I do play out and I actually play wedding gigs and then play some things where I do some cover songs and stuff. But,
okay, now explain what a songwriter series is. What is that exactly for somebody that might not know?
Okay, songwriter series is like a showcase of talent. It's kind of like a talent show for songwriters, in other words.
Okay.
All original material, no cover materials, all original, and gives you a chance to showcase your songs where it might not get heard otherwise,
That's kind of scary, too, because, in a way, you're basically putting yourself out there, exactly. And that takes a lot of guts to do that.
It's terrifying.
Have you ever, let's see, I shouldn't say, I don't want to say, have you ever been afraid to do anything? Or you kind of go into it with open mind, like, hey, whatever, if it sucks, it sucks, if it's good, it's good. Or how do you approach the songwriter series when you go out there?
When I go, I make music that tells a story that I want people to feel. Mm-hmm. That's my thing. If one person in the crowd likes it and 50 hate it, hey, I'm cool with that one person liked it. If it touched them, that's the deal. That's my goal. Mm-hmm. That's why I play music. If you're playing music for money, you've already lost. You've lost the battle. You know? So for me, it's my outlet. I'm not a good tell people my feelings kind of guy. That's just not what I do. Mm-hmm. But I can write it in a song.
Oh, and
so if I can help somebody else get through a situation I went through, or like I said, maybe it touches them in a totally different situation, but they still like the song. That's what I do it for. That's
okay. When it comes to songwriting for you, and then I'll ask, this is a part B to the question. For you, when you write, do you write about you, or do you kind of do like just hey, it's like writing a story, writing a book. Here's John, let's throw Sally in there. Or when you write songs, it's like, okay, this is kind of how I'm feeling today. Boom. Or does it a mixture of both as well?
To me, if I haven't lived it or seen it or experienced it, I can't write about it. Yeah. And that's just me. And it frustrates me when people say, well, I wanted to write a song about a dog today, so I sit down and wrote a song. Well, that doesn't work like that for me. I can't go into, I seen my neighbor's Rover, and I want to write about Rover. It don't work like that for me. I have to experience it, and I write about everything. I mean, if I write a song, say, just for instance, about a farm, mm-hmm. Most likely it's been a farm I've worked on or a farm I've been to or that I've had deep experiences with. That's where I draw from, my life's experiences.
Mm-hmm. It's amazing to me, but it's amazing to me that I've always thought, like, can you run out of music? You know what I mean? Like, that's the age-old question. Like, can you run out of movies? Like, you look at movies now. Like, people are like, well, we're redoing this, redoing this. And you see it a little bit in music today where they're starting to cover stuff in mm-hmm. order to get your name out. And it's mm-hmm. like, that's kind of a scary thing. But I do appreciate somebody who comes into it. I'll tell you this. Look, this may be blasphemy. I've never heard Chris Stapleton before.
That is blasphemy.
I know, dude. I know because I've heard so many great things about this guy and how he's like an old school guy. My brother's told me that because my brother loves old school country. You know what I mean? The Renegades and stuff like that. So like he's told me he's got that feel to him, And so my question to you is that I guess what I'm trying to get to is, do you like what country music has become over the years, or are you kind of more in that, hey, let's bring that old school feel back to it?
I'm more the best way to sum it up, Dwayne Allman said this years ago in the 70s, there's no such thing as a musical revolution. It's evolution.
Yeah, that's
Time's
good.
Changing, music changing.
Mm-hmm.
It always. There is nothing that you can play that hasn't already been done. Mm-hmm. There's no chord progression you can go through that hadn't been done. There's no notes you can play that hadn't already been done before.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to put your spin on things. You have to interpret music. Do I like some of the new country, the bro country? No, I don't prefer hip hop beats and songs. To me, that's rap.
Mm-hmm.
If you have hip hop beats, you're a rap.
Mm-hmm.
That's my narrow way of thinking about things. But I don't dog these guys because they're trying to feed their family.
Right, exactly. And that's good.
They're working at their craft, man. And some of these guys, Sam Hunt is a great example. He catches a lot of flack for bro country and rap. He's a rapper, not a singer. I've heard the guy sit down with a flat top guitar. Hands down, he can beat anybody in Nashville right now singing and playing by himself.
Wow.
So a lot of this is the record label is doing to these guys. A lot of this is they're telling them how to walk, how to talk to be successful. And they're cookie cutter, that's what they're putting out. But music's always changing, man.
Mm-hmm. I think also too, a lot of times I think it's us getting old, and you know, I know it's funny because I thought about this, man. Think about this when you're growing up in the '80s and stuff. Like when you were in the '80s and you heard a song in the '50s, like me, I grew up. My mom listened to doo-wop and all that stuff, so that stuff didn't bother me. But I always thought, man, that's 30 years ago, dude. That stuff is so old. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, we're in 2017. The stuff from the 80s is like the same way the 1950s stuff was.
No doubt.
And it's so funny to me now because I try to be open to all kinds of music. Right. I can't on some of it. Like, I can't listen to rap anymore. Like, to me, the best era of rap is 90s rap.
Yeah, Death Row, man. What's that?
Exactly, man. So, like, that era to me of rap is the best era. And I can't listen to it anymore. But I think to myself, is that because it is the best era, or is that because it's just something I grew up with? You know what I mean? So, because if you talk to people like, you know, aunts, uncles, grandmas, grandpas, whatever, everybody says, no. If you really want to know a good musician, you know, this person from my area, and it's got to be probably because we're getting old, right?
It has to be a little bit of it, man. You know, that's funny you said that, though, Anthony, because there's artists like that, man. Let's start out from the 60s, for instance. Like Jim Croce, like
Love Jim Croce.
Otis Redding, guys like that, even Smokey Robinson, the Miracles, guys like that. There's those once-in-a-lifetime artists who kept their music going. Now, of course, Otis died untimely, really young. Jim Croce died really young. But you think back to where would those guys be at today? What kind of voice would they have today? What can they say today? Willie Nelson has stood the test of time, man. And I'm not the biggest Willie Nelson fan in the world. Phenomenal songwriter. Can't stand to hear the guy sing.
Yeah, same here.
But look at what he's done, and he's kept it, and he's still playing today. You know, guys like him, they're true artists, don't conform. They don't do the mold. Willie has played everything. Waylon Jennings has played everything. Hank Williams Jr., everything, you know.
Are those some of your biggest influences? Not to get away from the subject, but are those some of your probably biggest influences?
Songwriting wise. I mean, you know me, I'm an old school Skinner guy. I love Southern rock. That's my, you know, I was born 2 decades too late.
Yeah.
But and of course, don't get me wrong, I love Cinderella and the 80s guys. And
oh, yeah.
I grew up with it all, you know, and we can get into that later. But yeah, that's there's always artists who stand the test of time, and if you look at those guys, they never conform to I just do this, or I just, you know, I'm only country, I'm not going to play, you know, I'm not going to do a rock song.
That's probably why, I mean, some people may not like it or not, but maybe that's why Tim McGraw still lasted.
That's why Tim McGraw
because the dude is, like you said, you know, he's evolved with the music, and I'm not as big a fan of his music now as I used to be, but the dude, the reason he is where he is because he's accepted, hey, look, you either change or you get left behind to a certain extent.
Today especially, and that's a true statement, you know, you can't make a truer statement. Nowadays, you either adjust with the curve and go with it, or you do get left behind.
Yeah.
Now, social media, like the podcast we're doing now, YouTube, things like that, enables people to go ahead and keep putting their music out without a record label.
Isn't it harder now to be an artist than it's ever been, I would imagine?
It really is.
Because everybody now, Travis, you can go home, play on your Facebook Live or whatever, and go, oh, wow, that's a really good song. And then it gets shared. And before you know it, you know, let's say you've never even played a club in your life. You're all of a sudden you're viral, and then you're on the news. And
there's so much American Idol and The Voice and TV shows cranking out stars. You know what I'm saying? And without people having, and don't get me wrong, if you sing like Carrie Underwood, you got talent.
Yeah.
I'm not saying the woman doesn't have talent. I'm more of a guy who you play an instrument. You play, you know, you have to play something and sing something. That's kind of my stick. That's kind of what I stick to. But
and it's probably where the love comes in of the songwriting and of the music in general, is that even if you don't make it, who cares, man?
Exactly,
I'm playing my life, and I'm doing something that I love to do. I mean, I'm 40 years old and I'm podcasting. When most dudes are, probably in their 20s in podcasting, but I'm doing this because this is what I love to do. I enjoy getting to know my family and my friends, and this is the point of the podcast. And but to get back to the influences, like growing up, who was probably the first person that, you know, even as a kid that you go, even if it was an 80s rock band or whatever, who was the first band or musician that you go, oh man, that makes me want to play?
Tom Petty.
Tom Petty,
without a doubt.
Yeah.
I learned to play drums listening to the Torpedoes album by Tom Petty.
Oh, okay.
That's how I learned. My dad.
I would have never figured that. Tom Petty. I would have said Skinner. I would have thought you'd said Skinner for sure.
I had listened to a bunch of that stuff. Of course, my dad had rock blasting at all times. So I listened to a lot of that stuff before I ever heard Tom Petty. but none of it really grabbed me. Not where I thought, hey, I can do this.
Mm-hmm.
I can do that. Stan Lynch is Tom Petty's drummer at the time. His
Of
drum
course,
sound,
everybody knows that. Come on, Travis. People listening to this going, of course we know Tom Petty drummer. I had no idea, Travis, seriously.
His drum sound hooked me.
Mm-hmm.
That's the first drum sound I heard where I thought, wow, that's awesome.
Wow.
How do you do that?
Mm-hmm.
My dad traded 2 pair of sunglasses to get me my first set of drums.
Really?
He traded 2 Ray-Ban pair of sunglasses and bought me just a little makeshift drum kit. And he regrets it to this day because I drove him nuts. I wore him out on it. There was days he's yelled, stop it, just stop, But during the summertime when a lot of my friends were fishing or riding bicycles or whatnot, I was locked in my room learning how to play drums, trying to keep time, trying to play drums. And that's what Tom Petty definitely was ingrained in my first memories of, hey, wow, I need to do that. I can do that. That's cool. So that was probably my biggest, the push. That was the push that got me into it.
Wow. Let's see. I would probably say my favorite band growing up that I go, oh, man, those guys are pretty cool, would probably be, I can't believe I'm saying this on air, Poison.
Wow.
I was a huge Poison fan. I mean, it's really. I even had to look what the cat dragged in, the demon shirt.
Hey, man.
But I loved just metal as a kid. Metal to me, I remember the Metal Edge magazines.
Oh, no doubt, man.
I tell you what, the only band. This is probably blasphemy for you. I wasn't a big Cinderella fan. I know, man. But Poison was big. Guns N' Roses, kind of. Man, Guns N' Roses. I remember when they come around, dude. They were just different. I mean,
well, people blamed the grunge scene for killing metal. Guns N' Roses killed.
I think so too.
Metal.
Yeah,
Guns N' Roses killed the hair metal.
Yeah, I think so too. Because I know, even though Welcome to the Jungle, where he's got his big frizzed up hair, like he's trying to look like metal band, but
that's the image.
That wasn't that. They really. I agree. That's a great point. I never thought of them killing metal. But they weren't metal. They were rock.
They were rock and roll.
They were just rock and roll. That's a really.
Slash is a blues-based rock guitarist, man.
Really?
To me, he's the riff master. He comes up with the best riffs, the best hooks. I mean, of any guitar player from that era, man. He really is. They're like Cinderella. They're a blues-based rock band, And of course, Axl doesn't sing like a blues singer, but they are more responsible than Kurt Cobain for killing the hair metal scene.
Yeah.
Because they didn't look it, they didn't sound it. They were different, and that's what.
And it was funny because they wanted to embrace metal. Wanted to embrace these guys, oh, these are the guys leading this future. And it's like, I don't know. They're probably leading people away from that. Right. I just remember them being so big as kids. Dude. Appetite for Destruction was just a whole nother album. Now, I didn't really like the Use Your Illusion 2.
Yeah, 1 and 2.
Yeah, 1 and 2. I love November Rain. It's one of my favorite. I know a lot of people hate it because it gets played so much, but I love November Rain. But, man, Appetite for Destruction. I remember I won when I was a kid. Back in the day, you go to the fair and you try to win those mirrors.
Yeah.
No, people ain't gonna have any idea what those mirrors, how cool those mirrors were.
You had 2 or 3 of those mirrors, you were the man.
Oh, you were next level, dude. And you people come to your house let me show you around. Mm-hmm. These 3 mirrors right here I won last year. Whoa, Guns N' Roses mirror?
Wow.
And it wasn't, now if you had no small ones, but you had the big one, then you were kind of like a boss.
Yeah,
you were like,
the man, yeah. You spent $15 bucks.
You really bugged your mom or dad that day for some serious money at the fair. But I remember Guns N' Roses being a huge whoa, man, those guys, because the videos, videos were so prevalent back in the 80s and 90s. I remember on MTV, you couldn't wait for a video to debut. You'd watch MTV going, oh man, there's so-and-so's new videos coming out, and people have no idea what that's about. Really, videos are dead to a certain extent.
Well, that was my introduction to a lot of music that I heard was MTV. MTV, I would have never knew what rap music was if it not for MTV.
Yeah.
I would have never got into the Snoop Dogg stuff. I would have never really got into Prince as big as I did had it not been for MTV.
And I didn't get into Prince until later on in age, because I thought I just don't dig his style, man. But as I got older, I go, gosh, this guy is one of an all-time great.
He's the most underrated guitar player of all time.
Oh yeah, that's. I don't even know much about music. I would agree with that, because most people don't go Prince you know, in their top 3. But I would imagine it needs to be in there because he's influenced all those people that are great,
dude.
you know?
And just the music he wrote. I mean, in the 80s, this is how good Prince was. In the 80s, people called him to be sure their stuff didn't sound like him. You know what I'm saying?
That's crazy.
Journey was a big band in the 80s, and you think of how many hits they cranked out. And there are guys, Neil Sean and guys like that wrote with Journey, called Prince to be sure that they didn't infringe on his stuff because he was that level,
wow.
you know.
And he loved pancakes. I know there's Dave Chappelle,
and,
you know.
And ping pong, yeah, I mean, and basketball, shirts and skins, you know.
Blouses.
Yeah, shirts and blouses.
Hey, surely you've seen that, right?
Oh, dude, I've seen them
That's
all.
got to be. I was watching some stuff on YouTube a couple weeks ago. I know we've gotten so far away from music, but you know, this is the whole point.
Yeah.
This is the whole point. But I was watching something on YouTube, and Charlie. They was talking to Charlie, you know, because I got in a big Charlie Murphy kick,
me too, man.
And he was like, "No, that really happened, man." And then I even heard another interview where Prince admitted, yeah, and then the guitarist for Prince, he was one of the guitarists. Mickey B, I can't remember the guy. He's in the video because Charlie was like, he looked like a chick, and turns out it's a dude in the skit. And they talked to him and said, yeah, man, we had pancakes that next morning and stuff. And it's just like, and they said Prince was like a beast in basketball. I mean, because he played it in high school. He was like an all-star. But they said like literally, because they were laughing at first, like, yeah, whatever, Prince. He's like, no, let's play, and he killed him, and that's awesome.
Well, Jimmy Fallon tells a story about him playing ping pong and like how serious he was at ping pong, and he's like he met him in like this little place, you know, where nobody else was around. He wouldn't let anybody else come in. And I mean, he was dead serious, you know. And Jimmy said he played like he was playing championship tennis. And he's crazy. Like he wore him out and beat him, and then he just left without even telling him bye or anything. Yeah, that's just cool, man.
That is so awesome, man. See, this is like I said, this is what we do. Me and Travis talk. We get so far away from the whole point of us talking. Okay, so you talked earlier. You play drums. Which do you prefer to play more, drums or guitar? I know that's like asking, you know, what's your favorite, blah blah blah. But you know, does it just depend? I mean,
I'm a drummer at heart, man.
Really?
I mean, the whole reason I picked up the guitar and started writing music is because I got tired of trying to get people to come over and write with me. I got tired of trying to keep a band together and get people writing. I thought, you know what? If this bozo can do it, I can write. You know what I'm saying? I didn't realize how big an undertaking, how hard it was until I started doing it.
Right.
But drums is always my first love. And to me, sonically, if you don't have a good bass player or a good drummer or a good rhythm section, you don't have a band. That's just my opinion.
Yeah.
And so the grooves is really what I liked in music, and that's what I love about drumming. And I'm still a drummer. I still do drum work in studio and stuff to this day. Wow. That's the main thing I do. So, but yeah, I'm a drummer, no doubt. First
okay, so let me ask you, in order, these 3 things in order of preference: drummer, guitar, songwriter. What would you say?
Drummer first, no doubt. Songwriter definitely second. Guitarist, I'm so man. I mean, I'm enough that I can write, and that's all I wanted to do. I never set out to be Steve Vai. You know, I'm not going to be that. I know that. You know, I don't have the patience for it.
Oh, okay.
But I wanted to write, and I wanted to learn enough to write. And this is what's funny when I tell people this, people are so shocked. I can't play in standard tuning, and so for people that don't know, standard tuning is the EA. You know, I can't play in it. Can't make chords in it. Can't play in it. But I play in open tunings, and I play open D, open E, open G, and Keith Richards got me hooked on that. I got to listen to Stone's music, and I was trying to learn to play traditional chords, and I thought, well, why can't I make that sound like him?
Yeah.
So I Googled it, researched it, and he played almost exclusively in open G, and I never knew it, man. Never.
Wow.
Dwayne Allman played in open E. I never knew that, you know. So, and that's how I just taught myself. I just sat down and started, this sounds like this,
wow.
And
see, I heard, you know, it's funny that you said that. I read Steve Martin's book. It's probably the best autobiography I've ever read. Did you know he self-taught himself how to play the banjo?
Which is ridiculous, too.
Yeah, and the guy's won Grammys now.
Yeah.
And because everybody thinks, Steve Martin, comedy genius, which he is. But like he had said in his book that he would listen to records and listen to the, you know, chords and then put the needle back and put the needle back and and that's how he learned how to play banjo. I mean,
that's mind blowing too, because if you know how good Steve Martin is,
he's really
up there with Flatt and Scruggs and people like that, and I'll put him there.
I got to see him at Bonnaroo in 2010, I think, when he came there, and it was so weird because it's like this is the jerk, and he's killing it on banjo, man,
making people look crazy. Not like to even step to him.
I know. I've always wanted to see him because I think him and Martin Short were here a couple months ago in Nashville, and I would have loved to have seen Steve. He's huge comedic influence for me. Okay, so back to you, Travis. What inspires you?
Everyday life, man.
Okay.
Everyday life, storytelling. That's
is that how you would describe your songwriting? Just storytelling?
Most definitely.
Yeah.
Most definitely.
That may be a generic question if it is. Sorry, but
no, that's fine, man. Because why are you doing it if you don't have something to say?
Mm-hmm.
What's the purpose?
Yeah.
If you're just, anybody can sing about anything, but if you're not trying to convey emotion over to somebody else, if you don't have a voice or have something to say, then why say it?
Yeah. That's got to be tough sometimes too, because it's probably tough and rehabilitating as well, because if you're going through hard times, man, to write that stuff down and then to deal with it, but then to write it and realize, okay, I've been through that, I got through it, I'm here, and I got something pretty cool now. That's probably kind of a cool feeling as well, right? Have you had those moments with songwriting?
Most definitely. I've got songs now that I won't play live.
Really?
I've got songs now that I will not play live.
Because it'll just get
for me.
you.
Yeah. It just I can't play them either without breaking down, or I think it's too personal.
Yeah.
To let other people hear it. And I have 10 or 12 of them that I won't play live.
Yeah.
But I have songs that are really personal to me that I do play live. It just depends on how I feel about that song.
Would you say in everything that you've been through in your life, has music been a lot of the way you're kind of, I don't want to say psychologist, but it's kind of your way of getting through?
It's my release, man.
Yeah.
Without music in my life, I don't know where I would be. Seriously. And I love the movies and things like that and stuff, but I love the soundtracks for the movies more than I love the movies.
Yeah.
But music, dude, has got me through some of the toughest things in my life. The last 3 years have been rough on me. And if I didn't have a guitar, if I didn't have some way to get that out, I'd be in a mental institution. Seriously, it's all my life, every traumatic experience I've had or any tough situation I've had, music has pulled me through that. And so some people it's poetry, some people it's painting. So, whatever you got to do, without throwing rocks through windows like Ernest T. Bass, whatever you got to do to get.
So it's weird because the way I get it out is throwing rocks through windows. That's just so weird.
It's not constructive.
But I tell you what, it's funny that you say that, because comedians, a lot of comedians, at least back in the day, I can't speak for comedians now, but I love old school comedians, and comedy is because they've been through things and they've used that comedy to get them through, or they've listened to comedy to get them through. Do you find that a lot of the songwriters that you've been around, it's because they've gotten through because of the music? Is that the majority, actually? The majority,
and those are the guys that I gravitate to more on my influences and stuff, and now that I look back over my, the guys I really liked, that are the guys that tell stories. It is the guys that have something to say, or somebody that has a weird outlook on things and stuff like that. Billy Corgan from Smashing Pumpkins, man. People just think of him as a screamer and a singer.
No way.
Dude, the guy.
Tonight's an awesome, amazing song.
Listen to the lyrics and all that stuff. What he has to say is just.
Have you ever heard him do? I think he did Landslide. Mm-hmm. Man, that's a really good song. Which I like Stevie Nicks. I've gotten into them over the years. Way more.
Fleetwood Mac's awesome.
I know Fleetwood Mac is.
You're not hearing me down anybody for listening to Fleetwood Mac. Stevie Nicks and Mick Fleetwood and guys like that. Mick Fleetwood done a lot of songwriting for them.
Yeah. I seen a greatest hits of theirs at Walmart, and it didn't have the chain on it.
What?
How do you have a Fleetwood Mac CD?
No, bust that CD up. If you don't have the whole Rumors album, start out that.
Here's the thing. Let's just make Fleetwood Mac's The Rumors, or Rumors, the greatest hits album.
Because it pretty much is. Pretty much is, yeah.
All right, so who would you say is the greatest storyteller?
Wow.
As a musician. Or you don't have to name one. Give me 2 or 3.
I can give you a couple. Definitely Jim Croce.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to hear somebody sing about the working man, everyday life, everyday situations,
I love Jim Croce.
You have to listen to Jim Croce. Mm-hmm. And the way he tells it and his spin on things are just phenomenal, man.
I've got his greatest hits over there on record as well, by the way.
So you just went up like 6 cool points right there. You're already a cool guy, but you stepped it up.
I know. I'm taking next level.
Man, this is not going to be for a lot of people, but Bob Dylan. Bob's outlook. It's not that he's he's a great storyteller, don't get me wrong, but his outlook on things, just the way he sees things.
I've never really listened to much of his stuff before. So
you've probably listened to a ton of his stuff, just didn't know it was his stuff. Yeah, he's a songwriter people took from him for years and years and years.
Really?
Hank Williams, the original Hank Williams, his stuff is dark. Very dark, very dark.
See,
stuff.
I don't know these things, man.
They're super dark, scary dark stuff that'll make goosebumps come up on you if you listen to it. You know, get away from the melody, strip it all down, read the lyrics and stuff like that. But later on, man, even into like for our age group, for example, Kurt Cobain definitely had something to say. He was a great storyteller, great storyteller. Even guys like your guy Brett Michaels. I'm not going to knock.
What are you doing? Don't say he's my guy.
Well, you just said Poison was your guy. Brett Michaels is your guy. I'm not going to knock Brett Michaels at all because he was a heck of a songwriter. He said.
I always feel looking back. I don't know. I just felt they were. You know more about it than I do. Now, don't get me wrong. I love Every Rose Has Its Thorn. But isn't it? When I listen to that song, I go, man, that's just a really. That's a guy who was at the top of his game as far as their popularity, and he wrote a very simple song. And I just thought, man, Every Rose Has Its Thorn. Just like, is that something where no, he just got lucky? If it's because he's popular, or is it because no, that was a really good song?
No, because it's a really good song.
Okay, I wondered about that.
Really good song. Something to believe in. Listen to his words on.
Now I would like that. I like that one better than I do Every Rose Has Its Thorn
because it has something to say, man. But even songs like I Won't Forget You.
Yeah.
I mean, just read the lyrics on I Won't Forget You. Heartbreak is a big, big songwriting tool. It's got tons of mine.
I wonder what the message was in Your Mama Don't Dance in the Day. There's something
deep
there.
That's Brownville Station. So
that's true. They covered that.
Yeah, you have to ask those guys.
That's true. It's wild. I was reading something recently about Poison. And did you know, I think it's Cece had a degree from New York University in psychology, I think.
Yeah.
Dude was legitimately...
Randy Rhoads from Ozzy Osbourne was an NYU music teacher.
Wow.
He at the Juilliard, taught at Juilliard, and was a classically trained guitarist.
Was he 22?
22 when he passed, man. So you just think of the hole that he left, And of course, we could go all day on guys who died way too young, for drug use or whatever, what have you.
Yeah. Oh, man, what about Chris Cornell recently?
Broke my heart, Anthony. Broke my heart because he is one of my guys. He's another great storyteller.
Yeah.
Read his stuff.
He was my favorite alternative guy that come out of the 90s. I've never been a huge Pearl Jam fan. I know a lot of people that just love Pearl Jam, and that's cool, man. Eddie's done his thing. More power to him. I think out of the alternative thing, though, I just thought Soundgarden, and I'll tell you, to another extent, Audio Slave. Like a Stone.
Temple of the Dog.
Yeah, Temple of the Dog. But, dude, Like a Stone is a really... that's a really cool song. And his sound, though, is just... It's awesome.
It's one of a kind. Nobody sings with that power, that range.
Yeah.
But without Chris Cornell, there is no Pearl Jam. Chris Cornell introduced Eddie Vedder to the guys in Pearl Jam. That's Temple of the Dog. Temple of the Dog is Pearl Jam with Chris Cornell singing.
Yeah, that's true.
He introduced those guys. So just think of that. You take Chris Cornell out of the equation, there is no Pearl Jam.
Yeah. I watched a video the other day on YouTube because I was in a big Chris Cornell kick. I watched Linkin Park was singing Crawling, and Cornell came up on stage and sang Crawling with Linkin Park. Dude, that was awesome. You need to look for that on YouTube. That's a really cool.
Have you heard him do Nothing Compares to You by Prince? Have you heard him do it?
No.
Look, it's on YouTube. Look it up.
Wow.
I didn't think anybody could ever come close to doing like Prince like that, but he does it. He tears it up, man. He does a lot of. He's got a lot of covers. Billie Jean. Who thought that somebody could rock Billie Jean?
I didn't know that. I knew he did Seven Nation Army. I listened to that. He did the White Stripes first. By the way, do you like Jack White?
Love him. Love him, man.
Awesome.
Yeah.
You see, your cool points went up there too because I'm a big Jack White fan.
Now he's saving vinyl music, man. He is bringing back records.
Absolutely. And he's turned Nashville.
Yes.
I'm so glad he's there. Have you been up to his Third Man record? I have too. I'll tell you what. Although I'll say this, my wife and I went years ago when we lived in Nashville. And I wasn't prepared for how much homeless people were around, because it's next to the homeless shelter.
It's right next to it.
And I was just like, hey, props to him, man, that he took and put his shop over there on a little bit of a rough side of town and didn't care. And but I bought some records from his store there. But dude, I got to see him when he was with the Dead Weather because he played drums for him as the Dead Weather. I got to see him at Bonnaroo in 2010 as well. That was one of the biggest bands I wanted to see was because I'm just a huge Jack White fan, which sucks though for me because I'm also a huge Black Keys fan. They're probably my favorite band, probably top three band
awesome.
Probably top 3 band for me of all time, but they hate each other. Like Black, the Black Keys and Jack White
the Black
hate each
Keys, I think Jack kind of let his ego get a little bit of the best of him because he feels like that they're kind of robbing some of his stuff, but he's robbing some of the old blues guys. You know what I'm saying? People take from all that.
I think it's cool that he still keep number 1 the vinyl, but he goes out and gets people that sing that you go, wow, that's kind of a different kind of singer there. And but he pushes them and he gets behind them with his label, and because I like I said, I'm a huge Jack White fan. So bonus points for you, my friend.
Yeah. If you don't like Jack White and you're in the music business, you need to stop. You know what I'm saying? You need to stop.
Exactly. Okay, so before we get to my, I'm trying to think of a name for my questions today. I was thinking of the questions of torture and awesomeness. I'm going to stick with that right now, but the name could change. But before we get to that, let me ask you a question. In your music, what is your goal? Or is there not a goal? Is it just like, hey, you know what, as long as I'm playing, there's no goal?
My goal is to make music that people feel. That if it touches one person, then hey, I've done my job, man. I got really realistic about it the last few years of what I'm going to be in the music industry. You know what I'm saying? And that could change tomorrow. I could have a video on YouTube and it blow up, and who knows? I'm in Nashville the next day. Realistically,
I think that's when it happens, though, don't you?
Seriously.
Because if you go in there with your head above the clouds, man, you're going to get so let down.
See, man, I played drums with the Pitch Lakai House Band for years. And even before I came to Rhythm, I was playing with them. Got to meet tons of big stars, got to open for tons of huge bands, and we could have a podcast on its own of the people we opened for there. But I got a little bit bigger head then, and I thought, wow,
next up,
yeah, because we're touring, I mean, we went on road with some of these bands. The Kentucky Headhunters took us out for 3 months,
wow.
And I thought I've made it, and you get knocked back down pretty quick. And when I went to Nashville, when I first started the songwriting thing, I was all puffed up, man. My songs were awesome, and when I went and I played songwriting, I was like, I'm not crap. I don't have it. You need to go back and work.
Yeah.
Of course now I have enough confidence. I think I can hang. I can hold my own. I may not be the best one there, but I'm definitely hold my own. But the end goal for me is just to make music that I like and people like to hear. That's my end goal. If I never make a dime for anything I've ever done, so what?
Yeah.
So what?
That's cool, man. That's a good goal if you ask me. I know when I got into the making comedy videos a couple years ago,
which were hilarious, by the way.
Thanks, man.
Which were hilarious.
Thanks, I appreciate
the dating interviews. That was awesome, man.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it. I'm trying to get back into it. It's tough to find the time to do it, but it's hard to believe I've done those like 3 years ago. It's been 3 years since I've done those, but when I'd enter them in some contest and they had won, I was like, oh man, this is it. This is when it happens. And then you realize pretty quick, like, no, it's not going to happen. Because you realize, no, there's a lot of talented people. Because I would enter them in online contests and realize, gosh, my videos suck. But I would hear from my friends and family, like, no, they're really good. I'm like, no, you don't understand. Do you do that with yourself? Self-deprecate?
I do, man. I'm my biggest critic.
Oh, same here.
I'm hardest on my material. People actually get upset with me. I have guys that's got upset with me at Collins River, like, man, you need to stop. Your stuff is really good.
Yeah.
These people wouldn't be here to listen to you if they weren't good. But I'm harsh on all my stuff, man. I'm my biggest critic by far.
Yeah, that's good. That makes me feel better to know that we both realize that we think we both suck.
I think all artists like that, man. Stevie Ray Vaughan couldn't stand to hear himself sing.
Really?
And just think about, how good is Stevie Ray Vaughan? And he couldn't stand to hear his stuff. He wouldn't listen to his stuff play back. To him
he's probably my 9th favorite guitarist. No, I'm just kidding. You're like, what?
I was like,
this interview's over.
Yeah, I was like,
all right, so now time for the questions of torture and awesomeness.
Cool.
And Travis has no idea what these questions are, and they're not too bad, but some of them I'm gonna put you on the spot with some. Okay, so first question. You know what? Let me have an intro. I'm gonna see if I can get a buddy of mine to make an intro for this, like some techno music or something. No, I'm just kidding. Okay, I'll see if I can echo the questions of truth, awesomeness, and torture. Cool. All right. So, have you ever got hooked to a soap opera?
Yes, I have.
Which
do
one?
I have to admit it?
Yes, you do. Which one?
Grey's Anatomy. Sorry, man. Sorry.
Grey's Anatomy. Okay.
I did.
So, okay, now let me take it to another. Let me rephrase the question. Have you ever got hooked to a daytime soap opera?
A daytime soap opera. Well, now, I did watch Young and the Restless only because my grandmother watched it.
Don't throw that in there at the end.
I don't know Victor Newman or any of the guys on it. I was just like...
How many episodes of The Young and the Restless can you... and it has to be over... If you've watched over 15 minutes, it counts. How many episodes of The Young and the Restless do you think you've logged in?
From the time I was 5 till I was like 17. I watched them.
That's great. That is so great. So there you go. Question number 2. They don't get as hard after this. I'll go ahead and try to put some of the hard ones on the first one. Okay, who was cooler, Zach or Slater?
Zach.
Okay,
Zach,
good.
Yeah.
That's the right answer. Jesse, Kelly, or Lisa?
Kelly.
There you go.
No
See, man, you're nailing all these so far. Okay. Seinfeld TV show, great or eh? Oh my God.
I'm not a Seinfeld fan, man. I know you're the man. I know you love him, but I'm just not a Seinfeld fan. Come on, No, I'm not.
What's going on? Okay. Song that you hate.
Wow.
One song that you just hate.
What does the fox say? And only because my kid really listened to it on repeat like a million times, and I actually learned it on guitar for her, and I can't stand it. I hate it. It's crazy.
Okay, song that you love.
Song that I love is just too many to count, but right now I'll go with Broken Halos by Chris Stapleton. It's right now my song that I'm digging on.
Okay. Rocky or Rambo?
Oh, Rambo.
Okay.
Rambo. Nothing is over. No.
All right, so there's a story behind this question, because back in the day when Travis and I worked together, that we would constantly quote Rambo, First Blood. Now, First Blood.
Yeah.
We just, don't get me wrong, 2's good, 3's unacceptable.
3's horrible. Yeah.
Now the Rambo, is it just Rambo?
Just Rambo. Yeah.
What'd you think of that?
I thought it was awesome, man.
Did you?
I thought it was awesome.
I thought he was awesome in it, but the violence was just too much.
It was a little graphic.
I mean, a little graphic. Are you kidding me? A little graphic can be shown on PBS. That could not be shown on PBS.
No, TBS or none of them sharing that. No, but dude, I thought it tied the story up well.
Why is that movie so awesome? Because I mean, look, if you don't like the movie, it's no big deal to us. But we love the movie. Why is Rambo First Blood so awesome?
Dude, it tells the story of a Vietnam veteran and their struggles when they got home. But just think about Sylvester Stallone's acting job in that, and people can he's
underrated.
Made some cheese, man. Don't get me wrong. Stop or my mom will shoot stuff. He's made some cheese. But
Harrison Ford's made some crap too.
No doubt.
But he's still a great actor.
He's still the man, yeah. The last scene in First Blood where he finally has the shootout and he's,
when he does the breakdown.
When he breaks down.
Yeah.
Dude, that's one of the greatest scenes in cinema.
Yeah. Because a lot of people give him a lot of crap because, Stallone.
Yeah.
But no, that movie, look, if you've never seen First Blood, people of the future, go back and go watch this movie because it's really well written. Mm-hmm. It's action and everything, but really there's a story behind it. And Brian Dennehy is. Oh wow! Man, is he not an awesome bad guy in that movie?
No doubt. Even the guy that played Art Galton, it slips me now. But,
he's the one that is. Yeah.
Well, even what's his name?
David Caruso's in it.
Yes, dude. I mean, a lot of guys got the start out of that. You know?
That's probably. Don't get me wrong though. I love Rocky. I love Rocky 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm not a big Tommy Morrison.
Oh no, that's 5. 5 is Tommy Morrison. 4 is Drago.
I'm sorry, you're right. 4 is Drago. Okay, yeah, I do like 4, but man, I have not seen Creed. Did you ever see Creed?
Yes, I did, and I cried. I cried like a baby.
Seriously?
Serious.
Is it
the
that
last
good?
Rocky and Creed? I cried.
The last Rocky was so depressing.
Dude,
man.
No,
I can't.
Where he sits and talks to the grave all the time just got me, dude. I was like, I can't watch this, man. I was like, somebody's cutting onions. I can't.
I know, it's so true. Okay, so sing in the shower?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Stallone, Van Damme, or Schwarzenegger? Who's cooler?
Wow. Because I'm a huge Bloodsport guy. I got to go Stallone, man. I can't.
Okay. Favorite rapper?
Man, there's a million. I'm going to go Snoop Double G, man.
Okay, what's my name, huh?
The whole Doggy Style album.
Yeah, that had what? Let's see. The songs I remember most was Gin and Juice. What's my name?
The iconic, those are...
Gosh, I can't think of, because I know him more from the Chronic album with Dre, just as much as the Snoop Dogg. What's my name? Okay, one singer you could duet with. Who would it be?
Man, all time or just still living?
Let's go all time and then currently.
Okay, all time. If I could sing with Ronnie Van Zant from Leonard Skinner, that would make my life.
Okay.
Yeah. Now. If I could do it with Stapleton, he would blow me off stage. But if I could just do it, that'd be awesome. Man.
Is he your favorite singer at the moment?
Right now, he's.
Does he write his own stuff?
He does, and he wrote tons of songs for other people.
Really?
He's had #1 hits for tons of people.
Oh wow. Okay, cool. Have you ever watched an episode of Keeping Up with the Kardashians?
I have not, and I'm proud of that fact, man. I've never watched.
You better be honest with me.
I'm being honest. I've never watched Jersey Shore, and I've never watched Kardashians.
Okay, reality shows, yay or nay?
Nay, because they're not really reality shows.
Okay, snakes, clowns, or spiders? Which do you hate the most?
Jeez, dude, why don't you just throw the gauntlet down? Because I'm scared to death of all of them.
What order? Snakes, clowns, spiders?
Snakes 1.
Yes.
Clowns 2. Spiders 3. I'm terrified of clowns, dude.
Really? What caused that?
It.
I've got that movie over behind you, by the way.
That word.
It's a... No, I kid you not. I was watching it the other day. I can't tell my wife that I have that. She told me, she's like, if you ever buy it, don't tell me you have it. So she still has no idea.
Well, your secret's safe for me. I'm going to go over
He's got it. But really, see that movie... Tim Curry, I just think he's so awesome in it. Like, I appreciate the awesomeness of Pennywise.
No, I don't like it. Change the subject, man. Let's talk about something else.
Wait, do all clowns scare you?
Yeah, they freak me out. I don't even like party clowns.
Really?
Yeah,
Is there something sinister behind it that you think? Like, you think...
Yeah, I will say this, though. There's one clown that I watch.
Bozo.
No.
You never watch Bozo?
I love the Bozo show, but he's...
the Buckets was awesome. Remember they do the little ball with the bucket?
Whistle the Wizard. I like Puddles, the sad clown. And if you've never heard any of his stuff, look him up on YouTube. He does covers of other people's stuff, like in classical music style. He's awesome. Serious, man. Serious. Puddles, the sad clown, dude. I'm serious.
Okay, I don't mean to laugh at Puddles because that's pretty awesome that he's doing what he's doing, but I've never heard of this before.
You gotta watch. Did you listen to any like Lord's music? That Team and so. Dude, you've got to watch Puddles then. You've got to watch him. Yeah. You're gonna... I'm serious, man.
I know. I trust you. It's just like... No, man. Probably of all time, I would say Jim Croce, Eric Clapton, Puddles, the Sad Clown.
Yeah. Hey, look, man. Don't knock Puddles, Anthony.
I'm kidding, man. It's just like... It'd be so cool to hear somebody put him in their top 3. I gotta say... Ronnie Van Zant, Puddles the Sad Clown, and then Bob Dylan.
Rapping Puddles,
okay. All right, so on to the next question. Fart or poop, which one do you use more? Which word?
Fart.
Fart, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Public toilet or outside if you got to go?
I'm going outside if I got the choice.
Okay, yeah, I knew that one was coming. Okay, if you could sit down and talk with any person in history, who would it be? Doesn't have to be a musician, anybody.
That is...
Take your time, no worries.
You know what, and at the risk of sounding, these days as sounding racist, I would like to talk to General Robert E. Lee, man, because I would like to get his take on how that affected him. It's a Civil War, man. Half your country's people are gone. Families are wiped out. How does that impact you? You led that. How does that impact you?
Well, no, that's an interesting answer. I never in a million years would have thought you would have said that. I thought you would have went musical on that.
I'm a Civil War buff, man. I love anything Civil War related, and we could talk for a million years on that. But yeah, I would love to get Robert E. Lee's take on how that affected him later in life.
Okay, wow, interesting. Okay, pick your nose or blow your nose.
Well, I'm picking it. Yeah.
Okay, there we go. Wedgie, pull it out or let it ride?
Pull it out, man. Yeah.
Even in public.
Yeah, even in public. Yeah.
Okay. Excuse me. One celeb you could go on a date with. Who would it be?
Jennifer Aniston.
Jennifer Aniston still.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
Do you know how to change oil in your vehicle?
Of course.
Bugs Bunny or Daffy Duck?
Daffy Duck.
There you go. See, now a lot of people are going to say Daffy.
Yeah.
I appreciate The Awesomeness of Daffy. Michael Jordan, LeBron James.
Michael Jordan.
There we go. Has a movie ever made you cry, and which one?
Oh my God, yeah. Steel Magnolias gets me still to this day.
To this day.
To this day. And
I've seen it
1,000 times.
I seen one the other night. Now, I don't know how you are about superhero movies, but I went and watched Guardians of the Galaxy 2. And, man, that movie made me cry. Dude, I know it sounds...
I'm not going to watch it.
Dude, I'm telling you, because it's got daddy issues in it.
Yeah.
He's dealing with... And, by the way, love Kurt Russell. He's in the movie. Like, Kurt Russell's
the man,
he's
dude.
one of ours. You know what I mean?
Snake, man.
Yeah, he's one of our old school action guys growing up. You know what? Excuse me, I should have thrown Russell in there with Schwarzenegger, Van Damme, and Stallone. I didn't. That was mean.
Man, I'm glad you didn't.
That was mean of me. But, yeah, man, the movie is so tough and deep, and it... Excuse me, brought up some. I'm not getting down here. I don't want you to think people that are listening like, oh man,
he's choking up. Man, he's thinking
is he going down right now? But no, I mean, there's some serious daddy issues, and I think to a certain extent, a lot of people have that, and I definitely have my own as well. But definitely recommend Guardians of the Galaxy and Steel Magnolias. So, all right, favorite Disney movie?
Wow, Robin Hood.
Yeah, really? I would say Sword in the Stone for me, but Robin Hood's a close second. I love...
And only because Roger Miller plays the Rooster Man. He's the one that wrote the music, and so... Yeah.
There you go. Have you ever passed gas while on stage?
Of course. Of course. Yeah. Matter of fact, and this is a cool story. I did it once on stage and was trying to be so covert about it because I was like, just a little quiet one, and I'm sitting there, and dude next to me looks at me, he's like, and, give me the look like, dude, that was over
Oh, no, man.
I was nervous, dude.
Have you ever forgot a song right before you're fixing to perform?
Yes, and it's happened to me more than once. And
what is that like, man? How do you handle that?
You try not to look like a complete clown. You try to play through it. But I'll tell you, there's a YouTube video of Eric Church, and he forgot the words to his own song at the Opry. And so it made me feel better, like I'm not the only moron that's ever forgot the words to his own songs, But yeah, I've done it a bunch of times, man. Just nerves get to you, and then you forget. You're like, oh, what am I doing?
Okay, I've had two of my worst experiences with that. The first time I ever forgot, I was in high school, and I had never done a play or anything like that before. I was like, you know what? I'm going to try to do a play. So my senior year, I auditioned for a play called Our Town, and at the beginning of Act 3, this is like it's yesterday. It's funny how it's like Forrest Gump said, it's funny how you remember some things, but it's true, very true. But anyways, it's my turn to go on stage, and I am the beginning of Act 3, Scene 1. And I have to walk through a graveyard and do this little monologue. And then I have to start speaking with the groundskeeper of the cemetery. So it's just all eyes, like Tupac said, all eyes on me. So anyways, so Act 2 goes down, and everybody's like, oh, get in place. So I'm standing back there like, okay. And so right when the curtains open up, I forget everything, like everything. So I start walking out knowing I've forgotten everything. I was like, please remember. And so then it hit me, and I remembered everything, and it worked out, and it was just cool. But my second time that I almost peed on myself was right when I did my first amateur night of comedy. Is at Zany's, and I think I was 20 years old at the time. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I was 20. And I got so caught up and listened to everybody. What they would do is before you were supposed to go up, when the person before you went up, you have to go to the bar and just wait. This way you're close to the stage and you can get up there. So I'm listening to the guy before me, and I'm sitting over there by the bar just getting ready to go up. And I was like, oh, man, this guy's pretty good, And so, they go, okay, up next is... and you had to write your own intro, and I had no idea how to do that. I was like, I never thought. I thought they'd just go, oh, up next, Anthony Reese. But they wanted you to write something, and I wrote something that was so... I'll go ahead and tell you what it is, because this is the point of the podcast. It was so bad. But I was like, I have no idea what to write. So the first one I ever wrote was, he's no Jim Carrey, because everybody was comparing my stuff to Jim Carrey. He's no Jim Carrey, but he is Anthony. And I was like, what is that? That is so stupid. It doesn't even remotely... It kind of rhymes, but that's all I could come up with. And I was so scared because when I got there, I thought, you get 5 to 10 minutes. I'd never done amateur nights before. And you didn't have YouTube back then to go look up what amateur nights involve. And I remember when I got to I'm going a little bit before that. When I showed up at the comedy club, they took there was like 12 or 13 of us, I think, went up to the top, the balcony. Like, okay, you guys got 3 to 5 minutes. 3 minutes if you're no good, 5 minutes if you're good. Whenever you see a flashlight hit your face, start wrapping it up. And so, anyways, I was like, oh crap, I had a long sheet of material that I was going to go over. And I was like, what the heck do I use now, Yeah. And so, anyways, guy's performing for me. I'm at the bar. He finishes up and he goes, and then the DJ comes up, or the MC, excuse me. The MC comes up and, okay, up next, our next comedian. He's no Jim Carrey. I was like, gosh, that's so stupid. He's no Jim Carrey, but he is Anthony. Anthony Reese, everybody. And so I come up on the stage, and I was really excited. And as I go up to shake his hand, I'm realizing, because he goes, hey, good luck. And I was like, oh, thanks. I was like, oh, crap, I forgot everything. I mean, everything. It was back to high school again. So I go over to the mic and I grab the mic and I set the stand down and I was like, hi, how's everyone doing tonight? And but I had all this other stuff hit me, which was great. Like, I mean, I don't want to say like, oh no, I was great and I killed. But no, it was good stuff. There was claps and there was laughing and I was like, okay, cool. And the bartender was like rolling. I thought, oh, okay, you're sure he's drunk, but he's seen a lot of people, so if he's laughing, this must be okay. And so that was probably my 2 biggest moments of forgetting right before. So I can imagine being a musician.
Oh, it's just nerve-wracking, man. Yeah, it's and I've actually been midway through playing and then forget the second verse.
Oh.
And then be like, oh, so I'm just, acting like I'm playing solo, and I'm just, I'm into
this is
it.
the little part.
Yeah, and then it finally comes back to you, but Don Henley's done it, Eric Church has done it, everybody's done it.
Yeah, it's just something that it happens.
It happens, man.
Okay, so let's see. Last question. And this is a really tough one. You ready for this?
I'm ready.
2 proudest moments.
Wow. No doubt, number one, the most proud moment I've ever been is the birth of my daughter.
Mm-hmm.
No doubt.
That's a good one. That's a good one.
Hands down. Never been proud about anything I've done up until that point.
Yeah.
I've got a lot of not proud moments. We should have ranked those.
I figured we'd make this an hour. I don't want to make this a 4-hour one, Travis.
But yeah, definitely the birth of my daughter. And definitely, man, I played at the Tin Roof in Nashville and played, 3 or 4 songs, and I didn't think I'd done that great at all. I didn't think I was that great at all. But there's a guy named Randy Montana there. And I don't know, a lot of guys probably don't know Randy, but he's a huge songwriter in Nashville. Mm-hmm. Him and Jeff Steele are big guys in Nashville. And Randy Montana walks up to me and just patted me on the shoulder, and he's like, stick with it, kid. He's like, you're going to be all right.
Wow.
He's like, shit. And to me, that, just to hear that from somebody of that, and he wasn't going around patting everybody, telling everybody, hey, good job, he chose me, picked me out. And that kind of, that was a proud moment for me. Like, well, if this guy got at least one of my songs, then hey,
wow, that's awesome, Travis. Oh, good, great proud moments there. I can respect those absolutely. Okay, so that's it for the question part of the podcast. Travis, why don't you play us a song?
Sure, man, sure.
So, Travis is going to get his guitar there. This has been really fun thus far. So,
oh, it has. It's been a blast, man. Seriously,
I really appreciate you doing this, man. I hope this has been fun for you, man.
It has, man. It's been good just catching up when you talk, because, man, these are our talks.
People don't understand back in the day at work, man. It was like we're getting paid to goof off all day. What are you going to sing for us, Travis?
I will. The first song I'll start out, I'll do one of my original tunes.
Okay.
Man. This song is called "Stay." It was a really emotional song for me. An emotional time. I was going through a divorce struggle, and
okay.
The only way I could get my feelings out was just to write this down. And I wrote it down one night, and really didn't think. I just wrote it in poem form. Didn't think it was going to amount to anything. I woke up in the middle of the night and had the melody, had the lyric, had it all tied together.
See, that's awesome.
So this song's called "Stay," man.
Okay.
Fighting again. How do we get ourselves in the shape we're in? When we both argue nobody wins, and it causes so much pain. And I don't know what we're fighting about. You say you've had enough, that you want out. And in my heart, there's no doubt that I love you, babe. And I'm alright, and I'll be okay. You've always had my heart anyway. Am I crazy, baby, for wanting you to stay? And what do I have to do to make you see how much you really mean to me? Am I crazy, baby, for wanting you to stay? Stay with me. Yeah. And I don't know where the good times have gone. How could you leave me here on my own? I wasn't ready to be alone. Yeah, you took me by surprise. So if it's over, this is the end. Don't say we're better off as friends. And there's no way you can love me again. Baby, just say goodbye. And I'm alright, and I'll be okay. You've always had my heart anyway. Am I crazy, baby, for wanting you to stay? And what do I have to do to make you see how much you really mean to me? Am I crazy, baby, for wanting you to stay? Stay with me. Oh. Why can't you stay with me?
Hey, awesome. Good
Thank you, man.
deal,
Thank you,
Travis. That's an awesome song, man. Have you ever sung that one out
Oh,
before?
yeah.
Gosh, that's really good. I would highly recommend to continue singing that one out for people to hear, because
Thanks, man. Thank you.
that's a great job, man. And like you put your heart on your sleeve on those songs, man, and that's a scary thing to do, but that's the gutsy, ballsy thing to do. And man, I so respect you for singing that. Great job, man.
Well, thank you, man.
Awesome. You want to sing us another one here? Sing us one more, man.
Sure. We'll sing one more anyway, at least. I'll do a cover tune. We'll do one of my heroes, one of my big influences.
All right, here we go. Puddles the SoundCloud.
Puddles the SoundCloud, everybody. Here we go.
No, go ahead. I'm kidding.
We're going to do an old Waylon and Willie tune.
Okay,
man.
cool, man.
Cowboys ain't easy to love, and they're harder to hold. And they'd rather give you some than diamonds or gold. Lone Star belt buckles and old faded Levi. Each night begins a new day. And if you don't understand him, or he don't like you, well, he'll probably just ride away. Mama, don't let your babies grow up to be cowboys. Don't let them pick guitars and drive them old trucks. Make them be doctors and lawyers and such. Mama, don't let your babies grow up to be cowboys. 'Cause they'll never stay home and they're always alone. Even with someone they love. Oh, they'll never stay home and they're always alone. Even with someone they love.
Good job, buddy.
Oh, yeah.
That's
classic, man. It's classic.
Yeah, that's a good cover on that, man.
Well, thank you, man.
Good job, dude. Travis, thanks so much for taking the time to do this, man. Like I said,
no
I know you're a busy dude, and I think I've had a great time, dude.
Oh, I've had a blast, man. I'm just stoked I got to get down here. We've tried this 3 times now. It's never worked out. I've always had something come up, but man, anytime you want me to come back, I mean, if I can fit it in, for sure, I'm coming back.
Oh, hey, Travis. Man. Hey, man, that sounds awesome, dude. Like I said, greatly appreciate you sharing some personal stories, sharing the music, personal song, and it's really cool, man. As I told you before we got on here, man, the reason I started this podcast is to get to know my family and friends, but also the opportunity for my boys someday, or even other family members or friends or whatever, get to know about me and about my friends as well. So this has been really cool, man. I've had a great time. It's been fun, and you did really good on the questions of torture and awesomeness.
Well,
I tell you what, play that intro again on Mamas There Don't Let Your Babies Grow Up to Be Cowboys, and I'll wrap it up here while you're playing. All right?
Cowboys ain't easy to love, and they're harder to hold.
Hey guys, thanks so much for taking the time to listen to this podcast. Thank you to Travis for swinging by and doing this podcast. And hey, look forward to the next episode, and have a great day or night, guys. Bye.
This is the exit music for the My Peeps show. This is the exit music for the My Peeps show. This is the part where they put all the boring stuff, like who produced it, wrote it and such. This is the exit music for the My Peeps show. This is the exit music. Why are you even still here looking at this stuff? For the mind